Hello everyone, I thought I would try something a little bit different today. See if anybody enjoys it or likes it, and then maybe I'll do some more that are not just unboxings. Dipping my toe into a new set of waters, so to speak. This is how to make your own spell candles. Whether it's because you're on a really tight budget or whether you just want to make your own, try something new, make your own without having to invest in a lot of candle equipment, which can be expensive and extensive. And there's so many ways you can do this, so many options. You can go as simple or as extreme as you want. So I'm just going to show you some of the very simple options. I'm using a candle warmer right now, and I'll be honest, it's been sitting here for a really long time, probably pushing 10 minutes before it is really starting to melt. I usually do it on top of the stove on the lowest setting with an old round pan, but this was easier to film, so I thought I'd go with this. These are just the basic tea lights. You can also get some at the dollar store. I have never tried the plastic ones. I'm going to think that probably wouldn't be a good idea, but you know, if you want to give it a try, let me know how it works out for you. Or if you have done it, let me know if it's a really bad idea or if it worked out just fine. You can also, on clearance around the holidays, find the colored candles. I got orange and black, again with the metal. You can also get some colored ones at the dollar store, or if you have that type of store around you. These also have the metal. These have some scent, but if you like that, that's great. And then you can decide what you're going to put in it. I will say that if you're doing just one at a time or just making one, it's no big deal. If you're using a bigger pan and you want to make quite a bit, I suggest you take a Sharpie or even a little label and put it on the bottom before you start or after if you don't know exactly what you're going to put in it. That way when they harden and you put them away for later and then you sit there and wonder, what in the world did I put in those? You'll be able to know. Because like you can see, I didn't do that with these. You can use candle dye. You can use food dye. You can use natural dye, or you can use none at all. And this one I'm not going to use anything. And actually I'm just going to use very, very basic, get from the grocery store, even the dollar store herbs. So we have ground cinnamon and some oregano. And I also wanted to tell people, don't discount when you see things like this. Italian seasoning. So if you look at the ingredients, can you see that? That's all that's in there. But that's a lot of different ones that you might not have. It has marjoram, oregano, thyme, rosemary, savory, basil, and sage. So if you're looking for some witchy alternatives, look at the mixes too. So anyhow, this one's about ready to go, and you want to know what your intention is, and you can just shake it, or you can take the lid off and put your fingers in there. If you want to be connected to it, you can do a certain number of pinches. You can say a chant, a prayer, whatever. And then as it's melting, you add this to the candle. Now I will say, adding like this, you're going to get some smell when you burn it. You're not going to get as much, of course, as if you used candle scents. But that's okay. And I've also heard just recently from somebody that you can actually burn some incense this way. If you want a slow burn, you can actually put it on top of the hardened candle, light it, and as it melts, it will release the smell of the loose incense. She's trying that with some Keefe Temple incense that I made. Now I'm going to add some of the oregano. And again, you can, pinches of 3 or 5 or whatever your special number is or whatever number matches. Now you will want to watch. I'm going to take this off. And normally I don't suggest doing this with your hands because they get hot, especially when you're doing them on the stove. But I've lost my wick because I was trying to prepare. Also, if I'm adding a lot, I will actually use a big popsicle stick, or I will use napkins, and I will take some of the wax out so that it gives it some more room for herbs. See, if you mess up, there's always a way to fix it, right? Or you can just reheat it even. But like my fingers, again, you can get really creative. I have rosemary that I grew. I have my lovely pine needles that are from a tree outside that's special to me. You can break them up. You can leave them whole. You can do simple salt and pepper. You got salt and pepper? Put salt and pepper in there. You don't have to find a fancy recipe with a lot of different options and worry about how you're going to come up with the ingredients. Don't ever let something like that stop you from your magical path. This is lamp black, and it's actually just made with a spoon and a pillar candle. You want to use a jar candle for that. And I can show you how to make that if anybody's interested. It's really easy. It's used for inks, but you can also put some in there for some coloring. If you have black salt and you put it in when it's really warm and let it swirl around, it will color it some, not a lot, but some. And you're only going to see part of this now because I'm holding my poor wick up. But I just wanted to show you quick and simple way. And, my blooper is in there, and I'm not going to take it out because that's real life and that's what happens. But try something new. Give it, see how you feel about it. Let me know what you think. I also have some Palo Santo wood shavings from something else I'm doing. You could put it on that. That would smell amazing. But again, as basic and as simple as you need it to be. Or you can get as creative as you want. You can expand. Go out in nature. See what nature has out there for you. Flower petals. Absolutely gorgeous. And some will give off some sort of smell. Again, do not expect this to be an aromatherapy type situation where it's like a candle you bought at the store that's just going to throw off an amazing scent. Unless you're using candle fragrance made specifically for candles, you're just not going to get that. So I don't want anybody to expect that. You can absolutely use essential oils. This is my all-time favorite brand, but it also is not going to give you the same scent throw as candle fragrance, but that's okay. I don't have any candle fragrance that I use in these type of spell candles. I try to become as natural as possible. I have on occasion used the black candle ink because I wanted a black candle for a certain reason, and I wasn't getting the look I wanted, and the look was part of the importance to me in that situation. Most of the time, I'm making ones like this with different herbs or flowers or resins or woods in it, and just right on the bottom, because you're never going to remember, unless, if you do, I'm impressed. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Something different. Have a great day.